Hello everybody, this is Goji73 here with another showcase. Instead of following the trend of reviews I've been going through and a particular theme that's been going with them, this time around I'm going to take a very slight break from those in order to do this little shout out to a friend of mine who just recently made something for me not too long ago. With that said, like I just said earlier, this is another showcase, and it is of another custom. Let's pull him out. Ghostron, from The Return of Ultraman. Now quickly let's go into history because he only appears twice. In his first appearance in The Return of Ultraman, which was Ultraman Jack's timeline, Ghostron was just a basic monster who just shows up out of nowhere and is thought to be dangerous, but when Matt is sent to deal with it, Ghostron reacts hostilely, and Matt, or more particularly, Go himself, fires a very dangerous bomb into Ghostron, which gets lodged into the monster's tail. During the scuffle, Ghostron burrows away, and Matt soon learns that the bomb that's in his tail is set to go off after a certain period of time, like 10 hours I believe. I could be wrong, but after a certain period of time it'll go off, and it's apparently a super powerful bomb. And to make matters worse, when Ghostron reappears again, he appears next to a dynamite factory, so as a result it's pretty much get rid of the monster before he explodes and takes the entire city with him. So as a result, Ghostron sits around and does nothing while Matt scrambles to get rid of him before he can explode. Eventually, Ultraman Jack appears and he tries to drag Ghostron away, and after a short scuffle, Jack burrows underground, resurfaces, and takes the monster with him into the sky, where Ghostron explodes safely without destroying Tokyo. And that's what happens in his original appearance. He reappears later on again, but in the anime series, The Ultraman, which is about Ultraman Genius, and in that series, he and several other classic monsters like Red King, Arstron, Gokinazula, Banila, and Aboris are all monsters under the control of a race of aliens known as the Babylonians, or Babylonian aliens, whichever, and Ghostron is one of the monsters that belongs under the aliens' control. He is eventually killed by the team of that series, and that's just about that. And so that does it for Ghostron's history. Now before I cover detail, to anyone who is possibly curious, I did actually use a small bit of funds from Patreon in order to buy this. However, in my defense, and this is a bit of a spoiler too, I do intend on putting this monster and all my other customs that I have ordered in Godzilla and His Amazing Friends. So I do have plans for this guy, just to get that out there that I'm not needlessly throwing my money around. But anyway, pushing that aside, let's get on to detail. Now, as I said earlier, this is another custom by my good friend yaoyao9, who earlier made a custom of Nash. Her group is known as the Kaiju Reanimation Yard, I believe, and just looking at this, she did a really great job. I mean, it's a tiny mod overall, like, at first glance, but when you look closely, the horns on Arstron, which was the base figure that was used for this, were removed and molded over to resemble Ghostron's horns, or spikes, or however you call these. And the chest, too, is actually completely redesigned as well. For those of you who don't know, Ghostron has a completely different chest than Arstron's, and Yao went out of her way to completely redesigned the chest as well, and on top of that, she gave several coats of paint to the Arstron figure and repainted it brown, after Ghostron, who was kind of a goldish brown as well, and I think it turned out really nicely. It might come off as a little dark at times, but at the same time, it kind of works for like a reintroduction to the Heisei series, because that's what Supro likes to do nowadays, and for that, I think it's good. And even the tinier details, like the eyes and the teeth are individually painted. I hope my camera can pick it up that well. I don't think it can, but anyways, even the smaller details on here look really, really nice. I'm really liking what she did with the figure. So, once again, another great job on this custom. Now, quickly moving on to articulation. Much like Arstron's figure as well, all of the limbs still rotate. The arms rotate 360, or as far as they would, given that they intersect with the legs. The legs still rotate. I don't believe there's any chafing on the paint as well, but, you know, it looks pretty safe overall. Just don't overdo it, is my only recommendation. And I believe the tail, like, the tail, it does rotate, just not that much, but anyways, paint job doesn't affect the articulation whatsoever. Maybe a very, very, very small bit of chafing might occur, but not so much so that it'll damage the figure. Just, again, don't overdo it, and you'll be golden. But overall, articulation is pretty much standard. And pulling Ghostron off to the side, let's pull out the monster that was used to make him, Articulation. And you can see here the differences in the two monsters. Articulation has a big spike swoop on the top of his head, whereas Ghostron has these sail-like things. And here's a better look at the chest designs, just to show you the difference. You can see Articulation has a little bit more bumps on the front, and Ghostron doesn't. I'm hoping not swapping their names up. If I am, I'm sorry. But yeah, this is just to show off the two different designs in the chest. And the eyes and the teeth, just to show that off as well. But get back onto sizing, I'd say, like, if Ghostron were to reappear, I'd say this is about accurate. The sizing isn't really that badly affected, and even if it was, I'd say this is pretty accurate to how he'd look if he were to return. So, yeah, this is just a show off. And because I do have the Ultra that fights him, let's pull out Ultraman Jack. And again, much like Articulation, who is already a really great scaled figure, the scaling here looks really nice too. Jack looks like he was in scale with Ghostron when they fought. So yeah, scaling looks really nice here. And so that just about does it for this showcase. Again, there's not going to be a rating, because if there was, it'd be a 10 out of 10 as a courtesy to the commissioner who made this. So, quickly going over everything. History is short, not brief, but short, because Ghostron appears twice. Detail looks great. The figure looks like it would be perfect for a reintroduction for Ghostron. Articulation is the same as Articulation, and scaling is the same as Articulation. And so, there you go. Once again, thank you very much, yaoyao9, for this awesome customization of yours. You did another great job, and you've really outdone yourself this time. I hope to order from you again in the future. And so that's it. I'll see you all next time. That's it for today's figure review. If you like what you see, or what I make, and wish to support me and help me create content faster or more efficiently, you can help me by supporting me on Patreon, and possibly get a video of your own made for you, or win several other prizes. You can also help me by supporting me here on YouTube, as well as Facebook and Twitter for anything else I may make in the future. And so that's it. I'll see you all next time.